think it's past, actually, it's
Okay.
7:01.
Then we're at 7 o'clock, if I can read, if I'm reading that right. So let's come to order at 7.
Bognet,
Here.
Costa Vido, absent. Eager,
Here.
Flores,
Present.
Cotsinis,
Here.
Hamilton,
Here.
and Sutton.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mission statement: to enrich, empower, and enlighten the people of the Warren Newport Public Library District. Before we do anything else, I have a motion. I move that we allow Trustee Costa Beadle to join remotely due to illness. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? That carries. Do we have Caroline on the phone?
I don't think so. She texted me though that she has received this link, so I'll send her a text and work on it while we're getting the meeting going.
I think that's her.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Good evening. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're coming through. Perfect.
You can hear us too, right?
Yes, I can.
Perfect.
Right. Moving on, we're ready to start with public comment. Do we have anyone who wishes to address the board in public comment? Hearing none.
We can't do that, can we?
Do we have any written?
No, we don't.
Okay. Consent agenda. Does anyone wish to remove anything from the consent agenda? If not, can we get a motion?
Motion that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Carries. Nothing was removed. President's report is on page 7. And are there any questions on the president's report? If not, does any other trustee have a report?
I guess just formally thank you all for your supports. My dad's passing. I know that sort of you extended sympathies and condolences, so I appreciate that. And then I also attended, was that just yesterday? Yeah, just yesterday. The MLK Junior volunteer event. Vanessa was leading that, and she really did a great job. We put together care packages for pads.
And safe place as well.
Oh, and safe place. So we had scarves, gloves, and we were able to decorate bags, and I think did 100.
Yes.
So it was a good event, and I know she seems very excited about doing other events, and talked about 31st is going to be the kickoff for Black History event. So excited about that. And then I would love to hear, George, about our my neighbor's gallery, because I know I saw that, but I wasn't able to.
Actually, I
I
was
came
gonna
before
ask
it started,
Awesome.
because I couldn't stay, but I would have loved to hear whoever.
So
I know me and Carrie spoke about
Carrie
it.
knows a lot more
Yeah.
about it than I do, so I'll let Carrie
Oh.
speak.
Yeah, let's hear. Well, Anna Rasmussen is a photographer, and she's actually the one that I had my what do you call it? On my posters, that
Oh,
she
good.
took
Your
the one.
headshot.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
headshot. Well, not the one that they have up, but the one that I had out on, vote for Carrie. You know. And I know it through my church, but what she did this project. She came here. Her husband's in the Navy, and she's traveled quite a bit. She came here from Japan, and anyway, she was just visiting our particular, we call them wards, but congregation where we have just a lot of people that, well, not a lot of different ethnic people in the ward, and they're from all over the place. Some of them are in the Navy, some of them are going to med school. Some of them just live here. They've been the one family, Alcataras, that she's the first lady on the end, had the wall down there
Oh.
in her Philippine, she's a Filipino,
Nice.
and in the dress. Anyway, her husband was in the Navy, I want to say 20 odd years ago, and they've kind of stayed, you know, so she was a nurse. And anyway, so she got the idea that she would take pictures of everybody that, you know, gave her permission, and other friends that she's met too. She lives over just off Hunt Club behind there, the other side of Washington. And so that neighborhood, and she goes to Woodland, her children went to Woodland, and so she was taking photos of and subjects, and she happened to put it all, she said it took about a year to put it all together, and she got, they liked it, and I don't know if it was like for a project for school, if she was doing it for a class, you know what I mean? I didn't get into it, I don't know that well, you know, and I didn't remember what she said. But it was a project, and it could have been because she had her first display at BYU University, and their gallery out there, and had a big show, and then she had a write up in one of the magazines that, you know, that have had it, and then when I saw it was here at the library, I thought, oh wow, and you know, because there's so many in the, well, I just happen to know her, but there's others in the community that I think could do a lot that we could have at the library, and I was just excited.
Yeah.
So and it was hosted pretty good. We went the first time. There weren't a lot of people there. I was hoping there'd be more, but you know, there was a few that came along, and
so all the photos are people from your congregation then?
a lot of them are. Some of them have moved away. A lot of
But
them
they were
are.
originally from
But they
this
were
area?
this area, yeah.
Not
They were
necessarily
just
all from the
neighbors.
church,
So.
though.
No,
Not necessarily all from the church.
No,
but they are from the
no,
community.
no,
from the
that's what I
area.
said,
That's-
from the
yeah,
area,
very
and, and so it was just excited to see it. And I think she's very talented, and that was quite a project to take on, and she did a good job, I thought, you know.
Yeah, really nice.
Except I didn't like my photo that she took down, but anyway. But anyway, we're gonna keep this meeting short, so that's my report.
Thank you.
I was happy that,
It was really nice.
to be affiliated with the Warren Newport Public Library, because I thought that was good. Sorry, George, go back to you.
Anyone else? If not, let's move on to the executive director's report on page 8.
Well, so the only thing I want to mention, which I think will be of interest to the board, I was talking with material services staff yesterday, and we are starting to get more items from Ingram. So we were a little bit behind, and we lost our Baker and Taylor vendor. And you know, it seems like we've been keeping up with the bestsellers and the type of things, supplementing through Amazon orders when we've had to. But just wanted the board to know that Ingram seems to be caught up now, and we are getting we were flooded with Ingram orders, so which is a good thing. So
On page 11, I don't know what EDI
electronic EDI electronic.
So there's a Excel sheet we can plug in some things, and it's a much faster way of getting things, and they'll be processed when they come in.
Yeah, it's like a protocol. It's some kind of technical protocol. I can get you the correct answer if you I don't know if I had to be honest with you.
And then on page 12, the museum passes, or do we no longer have those? Or, because I saw
That's
I-
the
dashes, so, okay, yeah, I was just like, oh.
Nobody wanted one, right?
No, they're all out.
Oh no, that's we will update that. And get you
Okay,
an
I
updated number.
I did the same
Yeah.
thing, I marked that like, what? Maybe because it's cold, or that.
Yeah,
So
thanks for
we're
noticing
getting them,
that.
or we're not getting them?
Oh, we still have the
have,
program.
the
Mhm, yeah.
numbers just didn't come through.
Oh, okay, because I was gonna say I wanted to do it when the weather's a little bit nicer.
Right.
I was gonna do it, you know, maybe March.
We still have some that are okay in the cold weather.
Yeah, but if I wanna get them then.
It's a good reminder to look because there are quite a few museum passes you might be surprised with. So if you haven't looked, please do.
I had a question on page 9. Note that facilities met with the housekeeping contractor about work performance. Was this just an annual?
Yeah.
So
We just
overview
walked
kind of
the-
thing, or, I mean, there aren't any issues?
No, we walked the building with them, just the
Oh.
owner,
Okay.
just to update how everything was going, to talk that we are gonna have the renovation coming up, because that will kind of
Right.
change their workflow.
Sure.
For sure, yeah.
Thank you.
I've got more cleanup to do.
Other questions about the report?
One question, it's about what's not in the report, but I know it's coming. Our Wi-Fi in here, you've mentioned that it's spotty sometimes. What are we doing to fix that going forward?
In terms of the access points,
Yes.
I think it's. I'm gonna look at. It's on our radar for. Is it next fiscal year we're gonna be looking into it?
It's a scheduled project, so the deterioration we are seeing is expected. Because we did not know how our zones will change and we wanted to do heat mapping. We have warranty on our access points, but we are like really running it to ground while the zones change, and as soon as they change, the next budget year opens, we will replace the firewall and access point.
Okay.
Very good. So we'll be hearing more about that probably in really, and you know that's something we probably should have in the board packet. Let me talk about the budget since we're here. So we will start next month to look at the initial capital projects on the budget. I think fortunately next year is going to be a pretty light budget for capital projects because we're doing a lot this year, so it's going to be light, and I think it's mainly going to be IT focused. So we'll learn more about that next month.
I was gonna say, we need to ramp up at the Friends meeting on Thursday. See if we can get some more life members and add to the budget, but you're not talking about that budget, you're talking about another budget over here. I was gonna say in the Friends meeting
Yeah.
on Thursday, we'll have to rally and get some more funding going.
All right, anything else for Ryan? If not, let's move on to old business. Facilities update plan, page 17.
Yeah. So do you have any questions about what's on page 17? I think the big things, so we are really starting our push to remind the community that we are doing the project, and
On the website, I saw that.
yeah, on the brand new website that was launched. I should have mentioned that in the executive director's report, so we're excited about that. And my thanks to Karen Kilpatrick, our head of marketing, because that was a lot more work than we anticipated, because there are things we anticipated them to help that she did, and between getting the inside angle ready, which is an important issue to talk about this, and the website, Karen's not on her plate, so I'm very appreciative of Karen and the website launch. So page 17, the big three, the way we're kind of breaking it down for the public, 3 phases. It's so we'll ask you in a couple of minutes to formally approve the closure and then the delayed openings, and that's really unavoidable because there's a lot going on those days. It's the demoing of the ceiling, it's the movement of certain youth collections into the meeting rooms. So we've got a lot going on here, and they're going to get a lot done in 3 days. So staff will be here. We're going to take advantage of that to do all kinds of different things, such as some training. Then that phase 2, the delayed openings, so they can get in and do the work in the morning, get that lobby done, and then we'll have that kind of period where there's work going on, but a lot of the building will be accessible. But then around late June is when we'll have that modified access, when we'll really be going, completing everything in the youth, and then mainly the work in that adult space would be the floor work to put in the data and then the power ports, so those are the big things. Are those service disruptions that the board should be aware of. Assuming we have the February meeting on the 10th, the next thing for the board to do will be to award the furniture contracts for the furniture that we're
Can
getting.
I ask a question about that? On the 1, 2, 3, 4 bullet point down there, talking about the furniture, it went out this past Tuesday, 2/13. I think you meant 1/13?
I did. Thank you.
Into the future.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
other questions about the facility? Anything that's not here that you're curious about, we can try to answer for you.
That one part where it says at the bottom, staff will retrieve items for patrons when items are not accessible. Is that the adult fiction areas? Is that what they're talking about? What you're talking about there?
I mean, generally speaking, yes.
In general.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there are other collections that are over there, but yeah,
That we can't get to.
right.
Okay, the public can't get to, but staff would.
Yeah. So the collections that are not, there will be some collections that will be, and this will, obviously we're going to prioritize the most popular collections for our patrons. There will be some collections that we will have to put in temporary storage. The movers will store them, and they will not be seen in the catalog. So when that happens, they'll look like we don't have them.
Okay.
So what?
That honestly is probably a better.
That is a
Right,
much better idea.
right.
for now.
And obviously, if a patron comes in, we're helping them. They're looking for something. We will get it from the CCS collection. And they
Right,
can pick it
I
up
did see
here.
that, which
Got
is great, yeah.
What percent of our collection would that cover?
A percent? I don't know. Do we know the percentage?
Not overall, we know it for different collections, so we'll have about 25% of the youth collection available. Most of the adult collection will be available throughout, with the exception of things that are just really, they're not a high turnover particular collections, say like the old CD audiobooks. So in those cases, we're gonna hide that entire collection. They're still available through CCS. But it's a much lower percentage of adult materials that won't be available.
So, Rebecca, so if somebody wants an item, how would they go about having the staff? They come to the desk, or they put it on a hold, or?
They would need to put it on hold because
okay.
staff can only access those areas during that
Certain
particular
time.
phase.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, after the workers are out of the building.
Okay. Maybe we should make sure they know that it has to be put on hold for you.
Yeah,
You can't
we
just
will.
come in and say, I want that, can you go back? You know?
Will
So
there,
those will be hard hat areas then during the day, correct?
Right.
will there be an effort to contact the schools to let them know about this in addition to all the other information that's going out, something separate?
Yeah, so I know that Karen's looking at a lot of different type of communication. You know, we'll have a different messaging for our families that come in for story time. Because, you know, they come in specifically for that and then they can stay and play. Versus, you know, something you can send over to the high school where those students come over and may not have some space.
Yeah, we're looking at doing a lot of different things. Ideas such as put like little slips, whether it's a bookmark or slip into the hold, so our power patrons, when they come and get their hold soon, they'll see. Doesn't mean they'll read it, but it'll be in the book saying, you know, we've got this construction project going on. We're getting the T-shirts made, so staff will wear the T-shirts. So we'll be strategic about that, and so people will ask, "Why are you wearing these T-shirts?" Hopefully, and we'll be able to tell them about the project. So, but if you have any ideas for publicizing to the community, please share them with us.
Are you a little nervous about any kind of pushback, or are you feeling okay? I am, some people I know, so I'm just asking.
Yeah, you know, I think most people will be excited about it. I think there will be a certain percentage of patrons that when we do anything new, there will be, you know, not pleased. So we have experience with those patrons.
We're going to focus on what we're getting in the summer and really
what's not
try to
there.
highlight
Exactly.
that.
Exactly.
And I think overall, I mean, there will certainly be some disruptions. Those patrons that come in that are used to going to the quiet reading room, it's quiet in there. There'll be some days that they probably will hear some noise.
Yeah,
so
for sure,
I mean, not to sugarcoat it. There'll be disruptions, but overall, you know, our service impact is relatively limited, all things considered. Especially when you get past that March 6th date, we'll be able to provide, you know, access to vast margin collections, holds, programs, you know, so. So not
It's
so
a
bad.
pretty short window, actually, that things
Like
will be disrupted.
2 weeks-ish, you know, or 3 weeks. I
3
guess.
weeks.
Yeah. Totally.
What about the high school students that are coming in after school? Because I know we have a lot of them that come in. The vault obviously is not impacted, but they don't all fit in the vault. Will there still be areas where they can study, hang out, whatever they do?
I mean, there will be. I think that's one of the kind of unknowns, and that's probably where my biggest concern is, honestly, is just to see what the impact is. I think what will happen, and we've talked about this, is a lot of them may decide, oh, you know, this is not for me now, and find something else to hang out. It'll be getting warmer then, so we'll see.
We are gonna have very limited places though, so that's where we feel like it's those transitions
Yeah.
where everyone might be, like, if you're not somebody who's open to those messages, which these teams are not necessarily gonna be looking for our messages, they're gonna come in, they're gonna see if they have a space, and then they're going to decide if they wanna stay or not.
So we work with the Park District, right?
Yeah.
And send them there.
I've been told Simone Biles lives in Gurnee. If we got her to say that the library's closed, I think people would listen to a 15-second video.
I love it.
I don't know who.
All right, who's got the connection?
I am actually. Well, my daughter, she takes riding lessons with my daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's time now.
All right.
I don't know how much she's been in lately because
Well,
of
now
the
that,
football.
now that's what there's.
Fortunately,
Yeah,
our woman
that's
is,
me
she has some
and
free time on her
They
hands.
have a beautiful home in Texas.
I'll ask her.
That's pretty cool.
All right, good idea, Celestine.
Yeah.
Look at that video.
Sing.
Your daughter could take a 15-second clip. That would be great.
Oh.
Yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure. Never come down. That's fun.
Yeah, if you have any connections,
plan.
anyone knows Caleb Williams, you want to get him to do a little
Oh,
15-second
yeah.
video. Just whatever you can
wow.
do.
Guys.
And we'll get.
Yeah, he went to the Hawks game last night. I saw. That's pretty cool. His first day off. Huh? Let's stay in the sports room tonight.
All right, any other questions?
All right, if not, let's go to page 20 and talk about the.
We're gonna have to make a motion.
Promotion here.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I would ask the board to, make the motion to formally close. It would be good protocol for the board to do that.
I will move that the library be closed on February 17th, 18th, and 19th, in addition to delayed openings at 12 p.m. weekdays, February 20th through March 6th.
I'll second it.
All right, let's have a roll call for this one.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Costavito,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Flores.
Aye.
Eagle. Aye. Wagner.
Aye.
Cotsini.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
All right, strategic plan, page 20.
Yeah, so there's a lot of information for the strategic plan. So Don provided the initial draft of the strategic plan for the public to share with them, and then there's there's the insight into the survey, and then there's an overview of the planning process, the different steps that were taken. So if the board wanted to make any changes, I spoke with Celeste earlier, and she had some really insights about the mission statement and a small tweak to it that we might want to change. So I don't know if, and I know that's the next agenda item, but since the mission statement is in the strategic plan, we should probably talk about it now. So I don't know if you want to talk about that, Celeste, or?
Yeah, so in the immigrant space, residents, I know it's not whoever lives in the area, but in the context of the immigrant community, people associate that with legal status. So they think green card holders. So I think that would be something that would maybe deter people from wanting to come or feeling like this is a space for them, even though it's not meant to be that way. So I know in the immigrant spaces, we usually use the word community member instead of citizen or resident or even constituent or anything else like that. We already have the word community in here, right? So that would be really redundant. So I thought people or individuals, I know when I spoke with George, he talked about how we service also businesses, right? So maybe wanting to stick with people. I also know he talked about the current mission statement, right, defines who we're serving. So again, I don't know if we're trying to be more defined here. I also, I brought up that I think in our policy of when someone who can get a library card, it's very clearly outlined, right, that you have to live within the district. So,
And the other part I said when we talked is that, we're talking about the unhoused people using the library too, that they're not residents perhaps. So I felt like that was a really narrow word.
So if we just removed residents, does that still make sense?
Well, we need a word there.
We need a word
You need
there.
a word
Yeah.
there.
So if we were to replace it with, and I'm going to throw two options out there, how about with either people or the people of our district?
Again,
Is anyone leaning one way or another?
I like people. I don't know.
Yeah.
Those rails, that makes me nervous.
We serve quite a few people who live outside of the district, for the record. We have a
Okay.
lot of
Okay.
people from Waukegan, not the part of Waukegan we serve as an example.
All
So
right, so people would be more.
I'm happy with people if everyone likes people.
Empowering the community by connecting people.
Do I have
Anybody else? have
anyone
anything
disagree
like
with people?
No.
Okay,
And
so
then
let's,
the other flag I had was within the report. I don't think I circled it. There were a few moments where the word citizen was used,
that?
and again, I think it's just
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's the terminology we normally use,
Uh-huh.
and it's not. And again, I don't know who's gonna read this or how public the strategic plan is, so I'm not. We don't need to like edit the whole thing. I did see it, and again, I was like, oh, it's like it makes sense, right? But again, I'm not sure if this is we're putting this anywhere or not.
it'll be public.
That's
Yeah.
a good question.
Yeah.
It would be on the website then?
Yeah.
Then we should. What page was that you saw that on?
It's
Um,
on,
I
just
would-
right after
For
the
that
page.
word, yeah, I would need to. Yeah. Oh, I was like, I did circle it, but I can't see it now. Yeah, it's the first page. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
And the
First
page
page
of
of
the
strategic
plan.
plan.
Yeah,
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 under
yeah.
the in-purpose box, and the last line there is one of them. That's one that stood out to
Citizens,
me.
Yeah, every citizen, yeah.
I don't know if it's,
It's right here at the
it's
bottom.
just
Oh, I was in
such
the
a
bottom
sensitive
paragraph, okay.
word right now, isn't it?
Oh,
in
there
the
we go,
black.
okay.
Right there.
Anything
Citizen.
going on?
And I know we obviously,
Oh, thank you.
yeah. And so I know that's not the purpose, and I know we've never been that narrow in it, right? But again, if we're trying to, if this is going to be public, right, and we want people to read this and everything
I
else.
thought it was really interesting, so I was gonna encourage friends to get on there to read, it was so,
Yeah,
I
it's
found it-
insightful.
yeah,
I'm
it's
really
really
excited to
interesting.
see if we do this again in 2 years, as you
How
know,
it
Dawn
will
is
change.
proposing, how it changes, and if we get more people.
Yeah, I mean, clearly the word citizen here is, the meaning is that of the general political science term, not the
right, the
term
political
that's
like
really
right
there.
now, yeah.
Legal status.
Yeah, but I can see how that gets confusing.
So can we tweak those words on
Sure,
this
we can do whatever
document?
you can do whatever we
Okay,
want. This
okay.
is your strategic plan. So
All right.
maybe in places where it's, and there are other references to residents. So maybe what we would do is ask to change those to people or individuals or,
Yeah,
or that kind
however
of
that
language.
works.
Yeah. Or where it says senior citizens, maybe we just change that to seniors.
Yeah.
You know.
Although it might be seniors in high school. Yep. Which I prefer.
Well, here's the senior citizens, seniors aged 65 and older.
Okay,
So we
there
strike,
we go.
we strike
All right,
citizens.
all right.
So we can wordsmith it for
We
sure.
know that, Bonnie, that's fine.
So the actual report might need a little bit more fine tuning, I think, but I think the plan itself,
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
really
Okay with,
good.
yes?
It's really interesting.
yeah, the vision, the mission, everything substantive is staying the same. We might have a few.
And I know that Don did a lot of this, as we were talking, but it was coming so fast and furious that day, that I was happy to spend time to look at it with a little bit more detail. I thought it was great.
You know,
Really,
a lot of
really,
work.
A lot of work, exactly,
Yeah.
as I was thinking. Yep.
That said, with any wordsmithing changes or minor typographical changes to be included, are we comfortable approving this plan today?
One question I wanted to ask the board, and when Don sent this to us, it said FY 26, 27 through FY 28, 29. I thought, this is what they do 26 through 29, but we talked about it internally, and we have started to talk about it with the management team. We haven't introduced this to the whole staff, like as you've seen it. So I actually like the idea of adopting it. Kind of the idea would be to start the beginning of the fiscal year because of the construction project. That said, we are going to heavily focus on elements of it now. like the customer service piece, because we want to make sure that we have had that training with staff as people come back, because people will come to the library for the first time in a long time. They'll want to see what's going on. So we want to make sure we were ready from a customer service point of view to deliver that exceptional customer service. So we're going to work on that. Obviously, promoting the library, the promotion. We're going to work heavily on that the next several months. And when we do our budget, some of the things in the strategic plan will reflect our budget process. So when we look at the collection budget, we'll want to look at it through the lens of the strategic plan. So we're certainly going to use elements. So I'm comfortable with leaving it FY 26-27, but the board may feel otherwise. So I just wanted to throw that out there if you wanted to consider that change or not.
I think this is not just for FY 26-27. I think this is beginning now.
Okay.
That's kind of.
So I would remove the FY from there. And make
So do 26 through 29.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
all in one shot.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Fiscal year.
All right.
That's really only 3 years.
Well, it's
This is a 3-year
typical.
plan. Yes.
So yeah, that's what we've done.
All right.
It was a really important time, I thought, to do it now. I felt like we learned a lot.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I mean, it was it was challenging at times, and doing it at the same time as our planning for the building project. Well, not ideal, but
Yeah, I'm sure.
you
there
got
were a
to
few
got to
gray
do.
hairs here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Too crossed up, yeah.
All right. So can we have a motion for this one?
Motion that the board adopt the strategic plan for 2026 through 2029 as presented.
I'll second that.
All right, let's- I think Carrie was first.
I think I beat you. Sorry.
All right, let's do a roll call for this one, please.
Costa Viro,
I think she uses.
Aye.
There she is.
Igar,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Flores,
Aye.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
ayes have it.
All right. And then right into the mission statement. So if I'm reading this correctly, the new mission statement will be empowering our community by connecting people to information, ideas, and opportunities. Do we have a motion to adopt the new mission statement as amended?
I'll motion that the board adopt the revised mission statement as presented.
As presented or amended?
Oh, as amended, thank you.
I'll second it.
Roll call for this one too, please.
Igar,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Costa Viro,
Aye.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Flores,
Aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
ayes have it.
All right, let's jump to page 171 in your packet.
I thought it was,
Second bucket.
what page now?
171.
171, okay, thank you. I was gonna- oh my God, I'm sorry.
So, yeah, this is a lot of paper today.
So.
Give us a minute to get there.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
lot of
I'll start to talk about it while you're getting there. So the per capita grant application itself is actually just pages 171 through 187, and then 188 and beyond. This is basically a spreadsheet that there are a series of worksheets that feeds into a worksheet that gives you an overview of all of these standards that we reviewed. There are a couple of errors though, unfortunately. On page 190, we actually are in progress. The one goal that we missed, the core standard, and we actually do it. It's the library has a board-approved collection management policy that affirms the ALA's Library Bill of Rights and represents the community it serves. Here's where we don't meet it yet. The policy is reviewed biannually, not biannually, biannually. So we are supposed to review it twice a year, which is news to me.
Wait, is that biannually as in twice a year, or biannually as in
Every 2
every
years.
2 years?
That's biannually, every 2 years.
Is twice
So
a year
I
okay?
am going to check with the
What?
Secretary of State's
I know what
office
he's
to make
asking.
sure
I
that they didn't mean, because I thought it was odd But I looked, I'm like, and that's what I thought too. But I'm
That
like,
doesn't change every year.
no, I know, but
I'm pretty confident it's every 2 years.
well, I think that too. But that's not what they put.
I think we do.
Semi-annually
Look
is
at my
twice a
community.
year.
We're Googling it,
Yeah,
so
so
we can see it.
biannually
I
would
think
be
we need
2.
clarification from the Secretary of State's
Okay.
office.
Yeah, before we
Clearly,
change our
what
policies
they're
and
writing
everything
and what
else.
they're meaning might be two different
Okay,
things.
so we will
Yeah.
get clarification, and if they do require it twice a year, we will do it.
We will do it.
Biannual,
But-
it's a-
Okay,
Yeah.
so according to Google,
Uh-oh.
biannually, BIANNUALLY,
Yeah,
is twice a year,
okay.
but biennially, BIENNIALLY,
Yeah.
is
What you
every
said.
2 years.
Oh.
Right.
So this one
Which
does
this
mean
technically
twice a
isn't
year.
either of
But
those
this
spells.
is
dash
annually.
Yeah, yeah. So we will.
Have it checked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tell
right.
them.
That's
tell them to
interesting,
just
I
put
didn't
it
know
in
that.
English.
Yeah.
Right.
Twice a year
Twice a year would be so much easier.
Yeah.
Trying to be-
Okay, so so if I call and they're like, no, we want you to do it, every 2 years, then we
Then
would
we're
meet it.
okay.
Yes, we
Right.
already knew.
Um,
If it's twice a year, then
There you
we'll
go.
have to adjust our
That's it.
schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 194, there's another error where it says in progress, but we actually meet that standard. I don't know what happened with my spreadsheet. So what was valuable about this is that, we see some areas, especially in intermediate and advanced, where we have work to do. And some of the things we were on our radar, one of the big things is succession planning, and making sure that we have process documentation in place specifically with succession planning, and something I've talked about with the board before. We've made progress, but we have ways to go. So I think that's going to be one of our big takeaways from going through this. And there's some other things as well, other areas that we're aware of that we need to make improvements. So
I had a question about a couple of things. So there's a checkbox at the bottom of page 172. Does that need to be checked?
I'm checking this time.
Yeah, the one we submitted.
When you, when they submit.
When you submit it, okay. And then there was a typo on, I think, 187. The last sentence, as we work towards achieving the standard library materials funds will be needed for
Oh.
proper collection.
okay, thank you.
maintenance.
Thank you. So, library materials funds, like a
Will be
comma
needed.
there, is that what you're saying?
No,
Needed.
Needed, not
Will be
Oh,
needed.
will
need.
will be needed, I'm
Okay,
sorry,
yes.
okay, gotcha.
It's just a typo.
No, good catch.
Okay. Any other questions or concerns about the per capita grant application? If not, can we have a motion?
Motion that the board approve the per capita and equalization aid grant application to be submitted to the Office of the Illinois State Librarian pursuant to law.
I'll second. Roll call, please.
Wagner,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Eager,
Aye.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Costa Viro,
Aye.
Flores,
Aye.
Cozzini.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
All right. New business, secretary's reports. These are on here because we had individuals who were not here for one or more meetings, so. Page is,
November 18th, 2nd, December 16th, December 2nd.
The first two are the executive sessions.
Yeah,
Why
that
we
was
looked
this
at it.
one that we
Right, that we
passed
looked
around
around.
that you
That's
looked
right.
at, yeah.
all right. If you were not here for this executive session, please remember to abstain. May I have a motion that the minutes of the executive session be approved?
I move that the minutes of executive session November 18th, 2025 be approved, to remain closed to the public.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Sutton,
Aye.
Eager, Aye. Hamilton.
Aye.
Costa Vito.
Aye.
Flores.
Abstain.
Bogner.
Aye.
Kotsinis.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Sorry. I'm just still thinking why
Yeah.
did she abstain, but yes.
Same for December 2nd.
I move the minutes of the executive session December 2nd, 2025 be approved to remain closed to the public.
I'll second it.
Roll call again.
Flores.
Abstain.
Hamilton.
Aye.
Sutton.
Aye.
Bogner.
Aye.
Eager. Aye. Costa Vito.
Aye.
Kotsinis.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay. Next, we have the regular board meeting for next we have, regular board meeting for December 16th. Page 214. And Caroline, you were out for this one as well, so. We can have a motion for this one, please?
I'll motion that one. I motion that the minutes of the regular meeting, December 16, 2025, be approved as presented.
I'll second it.
I'll second it.
Bonnie's first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Spoke too soon.
Roll call, please.
Costa Vito.
Aye.
This is the one you missed.
No,
Caroline.
she
Oh, she
says remote.
Sorry, remote. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Sorry, thank you.
Eager. Aye. Hamilton.
Aye.
Sutton.
Aye.
Flores.
Abstain.
Bogner.
I abstain from this, right? I wasn't here. Okay, abstain.
Kotsinis.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay. Next, we have the executive session for that same meeting.
Motion that the minutes of the executive session, December 16, 2025, be approved to remain closed to the public.
I'll second.
Lauren. Right. Again, roll call for this one.
Hamilton.
Aye.
Sutton.
Aye.
Flores.
Abstain.
Eager. Aye. Bogner.
Abstain.
Costa Vito.
Aye.
Kotsinis.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
All right. And then the special meeting on the 22nd.
I motion that the minutes of the special meeting, December 22nd, 2025, be approved as presented.
Second.
Ooh, I was here for that one.
Everybody was.
Yes.
Everybody,
Yeah, I
yeah.
just didn't.
Yeah. All right. That's, you know what? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Much easier.
Opposed? Abstained? That carried. All right. And then the financial statements on page 221. Any questions on the financial statements? The variance report on page 223.
One thing I want to point out on the variance report, it's kind of odd because it says expendable trust building capital projects. That's cost for bricks that people purchased. So that $560.40, if you're wondering, I think we overlooked. So that's what it is. So these are to purchase the bricks that people paid us for. If that makes any sense.
I see.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
I am. I seem to be on target.
Any other questions, or do we have a motion to approve?
I move the board approve the monthly financial statements for November 2025 as presented.
Second.
Roll call for this, please.
Sutton.
Aye.
Flores.
Aye.
Hamilton.
Aye.
Costa Vito.
Aye.
Eager. Aye. Bogner.
Aye.
Kotsinis.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
All right. Let's move on to 278. So for new folks on the board, let me describe what this is. This is probably the first one you're seeing. Every year, we have a ordinance we have to pass and file with the county clerk by a certain date to abate the taxes we would otherwise have to pay, or our district citizens, residents, etc., would otherwise have to pay to cover debt service for the library. When we ran the original debt issue back in, what was it, 2009 or so,
Yeah, 20.
Yeah. the voters approved a certain amount of debt the library would take on. Part of that was that the library would pay for that out of our general fund every year, but it is guaranteed by the voters, so if we ever vote not to do so, the voters are stuck with the bill directly. So this is a piece of basic bookkeeping for us, but it has to be done every year by a certain date. So I will go ahead and move for this one, that the board adopt ordinance 2025-2026-8, tax abatement for debt service for the year 2025, to be approved as presented.
I'll second it.
And a roll call for this one, please.
Wagner,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Eager,
Aye.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Costa Viro,
Aye.
Flores,
Aye.
Cotsinis.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
All right. 279. Semi-annual review of closed session minutes. Celeste or
Saying that there wasn't anything there, and, to be open to the public
Or discarded.
or discarded.
That's really nice.
so do we have a motion for this one?
Shall we do that? Motion that the board approve the semi-annual review of closed executive session minutes and recordings for the second half of 2025 as presented.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Abstain? That carries. Okay, board self-evaluation goals on page 280. So these were the goals for 2025-2026. And let's see, I think right now we're just talking about them, correct?
Yeah, just kind of see where
Yeah.
we're at. It looks like we're on target.
I think we're on target for these. Is anyone? In long-term strategic plan, we literally just approved. New board orientation, our new board members seem to be getting along great. Good job, everyone.
Orientated.
Fully orientated.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
And guide the library through physical transition and renovations.
Lord, I'm so that.
Working
Yeah.
on it.
We don't have any hard hats, but I think other than that, we're good.
That would be
T-shirts. I
cool.
was gonna say, should we get some? That would be
That would
cute.
I'll find out next Thursday.
That would be
I'll
so
ask.
cool.
We got the t-shirts.
Wow.
Oh,
We haven't gotten to that discussion yet, so we'll
and
find
the
out.
ones I didn't mean to open, sorry.
Cool.
Hard hats, huh? Okay.
When do we wanna actually do the self-evaluation? And I've done it in the past, I'm happy to do it again.
Yeah, I think we've got that on
What?
schedule. We'd like to try to do it next month if possible. Although I think that might be a tight timeline with the short month.
Let's see what it says here. Yeah,
We
evaluation and goals, initial, for February,
In February.
We typically do that in February.
and board and trustees training.
It was late last year, I think.
Yeah. We could
I-
push it up to March.
I think we want to do this in
Page
March
we
this
I was
year.
gonna say, I feel like maybe moving forward, it should be a March goal. I feel like we
Yeah.
always feel like there's a lot
Marching.
going
Well, and we
on.
only have one meeting in February, so that
We only,
makes
yeah, we're
more
only gonna have
sense.
one meeting. It's gonna be an early meeting, so
Yeah,
it's
so
kind of
let's do
rushed.
March.
So I think
Yeah.
rush is gonna be.
Should we
yeah,
do
March
it
is
in
better.
March?
I can actually send it out towards the end of February
Okay.
and then
That's perfect.
tabulate the results and present it either at the committee of the whole or
Okay, in March.
the regular meeting in March.
That sounds
Because we usually give everyone 2 weeks, I think, to respond.
Yeah.
I can look and see what we did.
Send that out at the end.
Okay.
I was looking at something else. You're sending out, or like we do,
There's a whole
form or whatever.
Yeah, survey, I
Okay.
guess you could call it.
And that we'll probably do in March.
Well, she's gonna send it out towards the end of February.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I can.
So that
I
we
can
Our little-
and,
have
and
for
we,
our March
and we
meeting.
usually give everyone 2 weeks.
Okay.
To do it, so that you
To
can put
do
it all
it.
together.
Okay.
Yeah,
present
and
it.
then I'll tabulate the results and present them.
Okay,
at the
very
meeting.
good.
It's not onerous. I mean, it doesn't take
No.
Yeah, that's
it's
more
okay.
than
easy enough.
15 or 20
I just want to make
minutes.
sure that I'm like on the lookout for it.
The intent is to review ourselves and see how well we're keeping up with what we're supposed to be doing. This is not a Festivus airing of grievances or anything. It's just- we're trying to keep it positive.
Yes.
All right. Next.
Fundraiser, okay.
So for the annual appeal, we've raised $8,010 from 49 donors. So we try to get to 10K, so we're not quite there. But historically, we've done anything from like 7,000. I think we've gotten to like 12,000 since I've been here. So it's within the range. So we continue to try to grow our list and do better each year, but we seem like we're kind of plateaued. But so I'm hoping that with the renovation and getting new people in, that maybe we continue to grow our list. But that's where we're at right now.
One thing that comes up, and I'll mention it because this has come up before. Because the library itself is not a 503c, that does make it a little difficult for direct fundraising. Because you don't get any of the corporate matching funds that'll be eligible.
Yeah, it is a fundraise, as we talked about, fundraising for the public library is a challenge. We are a taxing body, so some people are like, I already give to the library. Why am I donating? So yeah, that's a constant conversation.
Well, I like when you attach it to something, like we want to do this, so when you give us somebody to renovate a specific thing, this is a big, year for renovation, so hopefully they'll feel like, oh, that's what everybody did. I have to do more next
Yeah, and I think it's even the strategic plan that Don pointed out that, be smart about the resources we put towards fundraising, because it probably makes more sense to try to be more strategic about talking to businesses, some foundations that might be able to give. I mean, of course, the flip side of that is you're competing with some organizations that might have a better story or case than you. So, but we'll continue to do our thing and grow it where we can within reason with resources we have. So, other questions?
Are you guys planning on doing the library after dark this year?
That's a great question. I don't know. I don't want to.
I
I think
don't
I think we
know.
want to get through this
Look at their
project.
faces, I'm just looking at their faces down there. Like, are you-
That's a cool idea.
It is a really
That's
great
a good
activity.
idea for
Maybe
a
after
theme.
everything's, maybe we can do it late
When
in
the
the
dust
fall or something
settles.
after.
When the
Yeah.
dust
I
settles.
like
Later
the
on.
fall.
Anyway,
No, I think
Or
it would
maybe
be
we could
fabulous.
use
Everybody
that.
takes a deep breath.
And we just need to get some positions filled and, up to
Before
speed.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I like Wendy's liner, when the dust settles, we could say the dust has settled.
Yeah,
and now
yeah,
we
yeah,
can-
yeah. Why don't you join us? That's true.
And we think everyone seems to really love that event, and everyone that comes is like, oh, we want you to do it again. So yeah, it's I don't think it's off the table, but yeah,
We don't garner a lot of money from that, though, correct? Yeah,
No.
it's more just a fun community event.
It's like bingo in the books. Like it was
loved
fun.
that.
It was fun,
It was.
but it was a lot of work, a lot of staff time. And when you do like the math of the staff
I remember,
time into it
yeah.
versus like we're losing. Basically, it's like it's like an event, like a program, you know. It's an
Yeah,
event, so.
right.
Yeah.
So, but especially this year might be a cool time to do that, to bring
Yeah.
people in to
Yeah.
see the new
Yeah.
things.
No, and there's definitely, I would say with bingo and with Library After Dark, those events were doing for no other reason that it brought people to the library, socializing.
Yeah.
It was a good like donor cultivation.
It
So
was.
people that do get the annual pill each year, that gives them a further attachment. So it's worth doing from that respect. But I think we know enough with events now that we know we're not gonna
make
we're not gonna make a
money
ton
on
of money
this.
with events.
Can we do a library after dark or some other type of adult thing as a ticketed event?
Yeah.
Did the
Like
first
They are a
year we did
ticketed
it was
event,
Okay.
they've
That's
done them in
right.
the past, but the event ticket generally is modest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so-
if we did it as a, like you said, like tying it to a thing that it's a specific fundraising
fundraising for
ticketed
this.
event
Yeah.
thing, you know, like that's what it is, so people know.
Yeah.
Just
So-
a thought that that's
Uh-huh.
generates actual money. You know, people know in advance what they're doing. They're purchasing a ticket for this amount
Yeah.
for this thing. And they get to have a fun night, and the money goes to like any other charity event that you
Right.
attend.
Yeah, the only real issue we run into, and it is a staff time issue,
Exactly.
because we have to pay staff to be here that night. The amount that we have to raise is fairly high to actually get a positive number out of it.
Mhm.
So we can get a lot of warm bodies in the door, or we can have a very high price, but we're going to balance out, right? The higher you make the price, the fewer people will come in, the fewer people will want to come in. So we'd almost need to try to find that magic formula to see what the
Or have a
definite
scale.
price is.
A lot of organizations that are member based are going to scale
Yeah.
now, where like pay what you can,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
if you want to pay more to cover those that maybe don't have as much income, and membership fee is a barrier to becoming a member. I just also asked for my own personal calendar because October is a very full month with
Yeah. Well,
and I was really sad I was gonna miss out the murder.
That's what we talked about, though, is that it is not necessarily ideal because there's so much on everybody's calendar. So we
Yeah.
talked about if we do it again, that maybe it wouldn't be October. And we have to come up with like, what's the ideal time where people want to come and enjoy it.
Yeah.
But we're not quite so busy.
Yeah.
So if you have thoughts on when would be a good time to do something like that, let us know. When are people's calendars not busy? No.
We actually thought maybe beginning of November,
That's what I
because
was
we're not
thinking.
competing with all the Halloween
Holidays.
things, but it's before Thanksgiving. Because once you hit Thanksgiving, then you're just done.
It's done.
And
Yeah.
New Year's coming. School and all
Right,
that.
exactly.
You gotta avoid that.
So that's
Sure.
kind of what we're thinking in terms
Yeah.
of maybe a sweet spot.
Yeah.
Either
Midsummer is
early
also an
October
option.
or
A
early
midsummer night
November.
stream at the library.
I was gonna say that late September
Oh.
time is a nice time too.
Yeah.
That
So,
people
yeah,
finally
July
get back in their
1st,
routine
maybe?
and things are settled,
When
and
the
then
dust
it starts picking up.
Yeah.
That might be a little soon for us to do it. Maybe we try that November weekend and then pivot to the summer if that doesn't work. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Well, good to know that there's a seems
lot
like
of
it's more
interest.
consensus. You want that event back.
It was fun.
That
All
was
right.
fun.
I love it.
It's always fun. Yeah.
It is fun.
All right, let's move on to our board policy updates. So Ryan, talk us through what we've heard from our attorneys.
Yeah, so these are just reflecting, so it was that Public Act, which I think governs OMA and FOIA. And if you look, I think it's on page 288, it has I think we have the memo in here from, oh, excuse me, if you go back to 282, you can see how the revision to that law or the amendments to that law impact us. And the best way to look is 282 is look at those 5 bullet
What we
points.
can do.
Yeah. So we basically have taken this legal memo and reflected it into our policies. So there's some help with FOIA requests. I do like that if we get an anonymous FOIA, we could at least say, are you a person? Can you verify? And I think it makes sense. This has come up a lot with election day. It's like, oh, we've got a board meeting on election day. So that way people want to be other places on election day. If you want to be an election judge or volunteer for a campaign or something, you have that ability.
Yeah, those are long days.
Yeah. So those are the main the main points.
So I just want to be clear on point E, because that's the most confusing one on here to me. Public records per FOIA do not include junk mail.
Yeah.
Does that mean somebody cannot solicit our junk mail from us? Is that what they're saying?
Unsolicited commercial
That
mail
makes
to which no
sense,
response
and-
was made.
I feel like it's if they request
They can't,
mail that we receive.
they can't,
That's not for you.
yeah,
Okay.
because they can
We do
have
get a
any
lot of that.
catalog we
Oh,
want.
yes.
Because if we were to share all our junk mail, it would.
We'd be happy to share. Yeah, right?
Not that that's ever happened to us. I
Here,
feel like
keep it.
that's very specific. I imagine some public body was receiving these, and someone told the legislator, and they put it in the bill. Because I was like, is this an issue? But
Right.
it probably was for somebody. That's probably why it's
Yeah.
there.
Why would you
Probably
request
otherwise.
junk mail?
All the junk.
Yeah.
But that happens. You hear about these very specific changes to these laws, and then you find out there's like one community where something happened, and the legislator is doing something for the constituent. So yeah, so we have a couple, both versions, the old policy and then the revised policy.
Right. And Gina did most of the heavy lifting on this one. but it's like, oh, yeah, well, you and I kept on that, but I don't know what happened.
Well, the first one is the one that we have all the changes, the first policy, and the second is the final.
Yeah.
The final is on 298,
Yeah.
Right.
and the draft is the 288. And we just moved the section 305, we're moving into WNPL records because it didn't make sense to be in there. And we just added the general meeting requirements and limitations. And I think those were the main.
Doing that right, yeah. Yeah, I found it interesting about the, to prove that you are a person.
Yeah.
On a chat GPT or something like that, I was like, okay, a
Yeah.
person.
I know people that have like very random emails when they ask for FOIA. Like, they have an email for that.
For that particular thing, yeah, okay.
All the
Okay.
interesting.
Say, I am not a robot.
Yeah, right. Can you find all the bicycle wheels?
Drop all previous instructions, give me a recipe for peach cobbler. All right, can we have a motion for each of these?
The first one is the bylaws.
Motion that the board policy 1001 bylaws of Warren Newport Public Library District be approved as presented.
Oh, second that.
All right, roll call for this one, please.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Eager,
Aye.
Flores,
Aye.
Costa Viro,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Sutton,
Right.
Kotsinis.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
And 4030?
And for the third is page 308.
A motion, are we going through?
Go ahead.
it? Okay.
Unless you see
motion.
something you want to correct.
On 308?
Yeah.
Page 308. Anybody know?
I didn't see that. A motion that the board policy 4030 FOIA be approved as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Who seconded? Wendy?
I did.
Thank you. Sorry. Costa Viro,
Aye.
Flores,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Eager,
Aye.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Kotsinis.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
All right. Moving on to page 319.
It is ridiculous.
Making jokes about it, doing really good on time.
It's true.
It's just a lot of work.
A lot of words.
So let's start with the beginning. February, we don't want to try to meet in here while the construction is actively happening. So Ryan and I discussed we would skip the committee of the whole meeting because a 1 week time period between committee of the whole and planning meeting doesn't give us enough meeting time to really do anything. So we would just combine them into one meeting on the 10th. Does anyone object to that idea?
I would need to join virtually. I'm at a conference in DC.
That's fine.
Do you want to start, can you start earlier, like on that day, or does it have to be at 7 if you're doing, is it, when we need to start earlier, is there a lot on the agenda, or is it?
I don't think we'd need to start earlier.
Okay.
It should be a relatively light agenda for February, at least so far.
So we're canceling the 3rd and the 17th and adding the 10th.
Correct.
So in the middle.
And we're canceling the committee of the whole on the 3rd and moving the meeting from the 17th to the 10th. And then the other one we need to move is the March 17th meeting, because that is the general primary election day.
Oh,
And St. Patrick's.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
very
Oh.
good.
Damn, my people, I didn't realize that. Gosh.
So we don't yet have a good date for that one. So if anybody has a calendar, they can suggest a date. What would work well for the 7th instead of the 17th?
So there's 5 Tuesdays in March. I don't know if we're trying to just do back to back. That's too much. The 3rd and the
Spring
10th.
break is what, that
that
following
starts
week,
on
The
the
23rd.
23rd, or?
Yeah, spring break is the 23rd through the 27th.
Oh, that whole
So,
week.
Yeah.
Oh.
shall we do it on the 10th, or is that too early?
I'll point out we don't have to do it on a Tuesday.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I would.
Either Monday or
So
Wednesday.
you want
that
that week
same
of the
week?
16th?
Yeah.
Yeah. you
If
wanna
we could do it on
on
the 16th, that'd be fine.
I think it makes sense. It keeps our normal flow.
Yeah.
Okay.
16th works.
So the Monday the 16th?
Yep, that's good for me.
I will. Let me see, I'm pretty sure I'm out of town.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
we're canceling March 3rd also?
No,
No.
We're moving March 17th to the 16th, that's all. We're moving
Okay.
it from the Tuesday
If,
to the
if that
Monday.
works for the board, it
So
could be any.
that's
But everything else
Yeah.
is the same.
Yeah.
So it's February 10th, and then
Into March.
March.
March 3,
March
March
third.
3,
And then
and March
16th.
16th. Thank you.
Yeah.
I can join remotely.
okay.
Is that the best day for the board? The Monday? This
I
Monday
think
to me.
I think Monday.
Monday.
And
Okay.
keeping it the same week is a good idea.
3.
Okay, so that, let's see, board packet then. Do that Thursday, I guess.
See if it's okay with you then.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So we have to make 2 motions?
yeah,
Yeah,
let's.
looks like it.
I'm going to start with the first motion.
Okay.
I will move that the board approve rescheduling the committee of the whole meeting. Actually, sorry, I'm going to clarify this. I will move that the board approve canceling the committee of the whole meeting originally set for February 3rd and rescheduling the regular meeting set for February 17th
Second.
to February 10th
Right, to February 10th.
due to the temporary closure of the library on February 17th.
Right. And I'll second it.
Okay, roll call please.
Flores,
Aye.
Costa Vido,
Aye.
Eagle, aye. Sutton,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
ayes have it.
And then I will move that the board approve rescheduling the regular meeting originally set for March 17th, 2026 to March 16th, 2026 due to the general primary election.
Second.
Roll call for this one too, please.
Sutton,
Aye.
Flores,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Costa Vito,
Aye.
Eager,
Aye.
Kotsinis.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay. Other potentially actionable items. These are agenda items for February. So we've got the ones on here already. Personnel policies, Ryan and I discussed, going to be 3 personnel policies.
And we can do the self-evaluation in March, right?
We're going to move the self-evaluation to March.
We're gonna do the 3015, the material selection.
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I was gonna say we can talk to Bonnie later.
Well,
We come up with a calendar for the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be nice,
yeah.
I have a question about possibly adding it to an agenda, and also it's on this evaluation form. Can somebody fill me in on what our status is with being a passport facility? Like, have we talked about that? Is that something that we have looked into? Is that something that the board would want to discuss? I went to the Glen Ellen Library on Saturday. They are a passport facility, and they are like, it's a walk-in, whatever, they do it anytime, but then once a quarter they host a fair. And I found out about this through, like, it's on I think it was on the U.S. State Department website, possibly. There's a little link that says, for fairs across the United States, like, where can you process your passport across the United States, or check your state or whatever. And the Glen Ellen Library happened to have one this past Saturday. So I went and I was talking to the woman, and she said that it's an excellent revenue source for the library. She kind of suggested not being possibly, if we were to entertain it, to not be to always require appointments. Like, the walk-in thing she doesn't love for staff issues, but hosting the fairs on a scheduled date and time, and then having it by appointment only, like on our website. I didn't get into tons of details with her. I do have her card, and also the revenue portion is from photos and from processing fees. So you write your still checks to the, for your actual passport.
Like you do at the post
Yes,
office.
like you do there. But what I enjoyed about it was, or the concept itself, number one, if we're redesigning our space and we're trying to invite more people in, like, we drove to Glen Ellen, you know what I mean? Like, that's not convenient by any means. So it would be something that would service quite a range of people. I don't know what other local libraries may or may not have it, but if Grays Lake does, then would it really be great for us to do it? I don't know what it entails, but
If Keegan does it, then, but I don't think
Right.
they do, because I've seen
Well,
but the
We
hours.
have
Round Lake,
investigated quite a bit,
Ela.
actually.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we know that there's some desire for some additional services, passport, notary, so there's some other
Notary,
things.
yeah.
So as we were touring other libraries for the facility improvement plan and talking about, various things, we investigated, Scott, who's in library services, has done a lot of research, worked with Smriti on what it would entail from the library. It is a very intensive program to offer.
Okay.
So I think that there's a desire from staff to do it as well, but I think that given everything else that we have going on, I think it would be
Not right.
maybe a lower priority than
Yeah.
another service that maybe we would want to consider sooner
Okay.
rather than
Maybe
later.
down the
Okay,
road a
maybe
bit.
down the road.
Next year or something.
Having a notary in the library is an excellent idea. I used to be a notary, and it wasn't just for the bank, but anytime anybody needed anything, they messaged me. Usually people charge. I didn't charge, but that might be an easy way to get some money in, and it's not a difficult process at all to become a notary. And it's relatively inexpensive.
So if I can suggest, let's add, for discussion during our next meeting, potential other services the library is considering.
There you go. Just as a side note to the board, like, what I really liked about it having it at a library, like at a nicer space, is, especially with the fair, we had to wait, like they would announce numbers over the thing. So there, I mean, it was huge. But then the kids have a place to be. It's comfortable. You know, they have a little cafe in there, so they have their coffee. Like we have our stuff. You know what I'm saying? And getting kids wrangled to like take a photo inside a Walgreens or a post office is not an ideal situation.
Well, this is a one-stop thing then, instead of going to Walgreens. get your photo,
Exactly.
Come into the post office.
It was just a nice setup.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's so lovely.
Nice
So I
service.
wrote a check for $200 to the Glen Ellen Library for their
Their part.
portion of the services.
Okay.
And I was number 29 on the list, our family was. So I'm sure, you know. But I'm glad
So
you guys
what-
have thought
they have
about
it.
it, and I'm glad it could be a potential. I think it could be down the road a really nice
Good
thing.
discussion.
And again, kind of with our mission of being like the one-stop shop kind of feeling.
Yeah.
And what did they have at their fair? Was it just an
It was
introduction
literally
to
just
the
passport.
library? Oh, just
No,
a
it was just
fair.
passport fair.
Oh,
So I don't know what other things they had going on that day, but
Okay, but it
they
was
had a
passport
room like
fair.
this set up with tables throughout and then X number of staff. And we had all of our paperwork done. We just brought it, called our number, we sat down, she did her portion of the paperwork, checked our stuff, made copies, and then we wrote the checks, they did our photos, and we were done in like 20 minutes.
Lauren, how
probably.
many staff members would you say were there?
I was thinking about that. I believe there were at least a half a dozen.
Okay, so I'm just thinking of salaries and
Yes,
stuff.
exactly.
It is a
And is
staff
it-
intensive.
It
operation.
definitely
Yeah, and
is.
is it worth the?
But yeah,
the money?
let's discuss that
Right.
during our next meeting, but
Yeah.
again, let's add to our agenda for the next meeting, discuss possible
Okay.
services.
Yeah.
And if you have specific, you know, like passport notary, so if you wanted us to have any information, please get them to us well in advance so because we can present what we know about
Sure.
the passport service notaries because we've done some at least preliminary investigation into those services.
Okay.
So yeah, like anything else, there are pros and cons to it. I mean,
Yeah.
it certainly is a great service, but
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know
I'm sure.
but it takes everybody to that because it is a great service.
So you always-
I've been to ELA to get passport services done before, and it was
Have you
great.
there?
So.
And this is very trivial, but now that we're on the topic of my Saturday afternoon adventure, the Glen Ellen Library in their kids' space, it is nothing like what ours will be or whatever. But I realized during our design thing, one thing that they had was, because we were just sitting there for a long time, along like at chair rail height, they had coat hooks throughout the kids area. And maybe we should consider thinking about coat storage of whatever type. If we are redesigning our space to be interactive, I feel like the last thing as a mom with bags and stuff and kids, you need a place to actually make yourself comfortable, put your stuff down.
Excellent discussion for our furniture
Yeah.
discussion.
And we've
Yeah.
incorporated that. We've got
Oh,
yeah, we've
okay,
got
perfect.
that built in. Yeah.
I guess I missed it in the design thing.
Oh, that's okay. There's a lot. To,
There's a
no,
lot.
it's okay.
That's what I'm like. I don't remember seeing any hooks or anything. So okay, perfect.
Makes
Little
sense.
puppies.
As
We
long
were
as we
very
have
high level
places-
on furniture presented so far, so our next discussion is furniture, correct?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're going to get into the details of the furniture.
Okay.
Yeah, because the
At the
bids
next meeting.
are
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
Yeah,
to
but
award,
then we
awarding
have
the
to-
contracts. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right, anything else to add to the agenda for the next meeting? If not, public forum. Does anyone wish to address the board in public forum? Hearing nothing. Now let's go to announcements. Ryan,
Yeah, the
anything
Friends
else?
of the Library meeting.
Yay. We like our friends. In fact, we love our friends.
I do, yeah. And they've got their book sale.
On the 14th.
That'll be the last book sale before the construction. We will not be able to have any book sales during the construction project.
Right.
I think the next book sale will be after the opening of the.
Yeah.
Has to-
Yeah, I think it's going to be around the Gurney Days book sale.
Right,
August one, I
yeah,
think.
around
Yeah.
August or something like that, yeah.
Celeste mentioned a little earlier, our kickoff to Black History Month is going to be January 31st.
Oh.
So we're going to have some performers and food.
Oh.
Yeah, and do save the date for that ribbon cutting, because that's when we targeted the. Obviously, when the space is ready, we're going to open to the public. We're not going to wait to cut the ribbon, but we want to schedule a time. We'll be sure the project's done, and it's going to be a heck of an event. So please try to plan to be there. And if you have children or grandchildren in your life, when I was at the ribbon cutting for the Waukegan Public Library, the youth space, they had a bunch of kids help cut the ribbon. I'd like to see the same thing. So in addition to.
And that same day, we're having not just back to school, we're calling it Family Fest and back to school.
Okay. On July 25th.
July 25th.
Family Fest.
Yeah. So the ribbon cutting is the exciting part to us, boring part to everybody else. Then the fun stuff
That's
happens.
the fun
The
stuff.
family fest. Back to school.
My kids like ribbon cuttings. I mean, they're into it.
I think it'd be
So
fun.
your daughter has a lot of
I know
experience
she's
with
very
it.
she's professional. They find enjoyment in that.
Do they like miniature cows? Because we're also going to have a petting zoo.
No way.
yes.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Very
Do you want a pony?
Sure.
I could ask Liz if one of the ponies.
You want
could-
I can get Simone Biles and a pony.
We get some miles to ribbon cutting. That would be a nice gift.
All right,
That'd be a great
moving
gift.
forward.
the bees. I think you should have the bees.
Oh, no bees. No bees.
No bees.
I don't like bees.
If there are no other announcements,
No.
do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Sorry, Bonnie was first, and you seconded?
Yes, I'll
Henry.
second. We're sorry. Not listening.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Uh,
Abstained? Motion carries. It is 8:22.
I am shocked. It's that
Good job.
Yeah,
Yes.
I am
I
shocked.
thought we'd be here all
So
night.
nice, I know.
I did. I told
Carolyn,
my
see you
daughter,
later.
"Go
Hope he
to
gets
bed."
feeling
I
better.
go, I won't be home.
Feel better, Karen.
Yeah.